everyone. Hello, hello. We're going to be making some pistachio muffins today. So we're going to try to do them as healthy as we can. And so we're just going to get started right away. So we need 1 1/3 cup of flour. So you know I try to make them as healthy as possible. So we have our flour here, which is 1 cup of flour. And then we have 1/3 cup of almond flour. That all comes out of there. I washed this thing out before I used it, so it's stuck a little bit. Okay, that here. And then 2 teaspoons of baking powder, which we have here, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Pour that in there. And then we need 1/4 cup of soft butter, which we have here. We're going to need to get a spatula. Okay. And then we need 2/3 cups of sugar. Now this is the ethyl sugar, so this no sugar substitute type thing. So, but I'm only doing instead of 2/3 cup, I'm doing 1/2 cup of that, and then 1/2 cup of pistachio buttermilk or normal buttermilk. So I have milk here, which I turned it into buttermilk by adding some a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and I let it sit in the fridge overnight. And so now it is like a buttermilk. So we're just going to pour that in as well. And then it says 2 teaspoons of vanilla, which is here. And here's my teaspoon, if I can get this thing cleaned out. All this gunk in it now, butter. But we'll do our best. So we need 2 teaspoons. I'm going to fill it overflowing because the butter is still taking up some space. So we really did a job on that. Okay, so we have our vanilla. Oh, it smells so good. Ooh, yummy, yum. And then we need 3/4 cup of ground pistachios. And then we need 2 tablespoons of honey, which we have here. Let's see if we can get enough squeezed out here. So they're going to be plenty sweet. So there's 1. We'd count that as 1, and then we need 2. Very nice. Okay, we can get rid of some of this stuff. Put it down in the sink here. And then we also need, I passed up 1/4 cup of oil, and we have that here. 1/4 cup of oil. Have that. Yay! Wonderful. Okay, we can get rid of that and get rid of this. Okay. It smells like mint in here. I don't know why. Okay, what else do we need? We need the crunch. We're going to stir this first, and then we're going to crunch up some pistachios. Yummy, yum, yum. Mmm. So I think I'll make these and put these in the freezer because I don't need to be having any more sweet. Get that butter all mixed in. I always go to our local grocery store and they have the biggest pistachio muffins, and oh my gosh, and it's, you know, you used to go in there and sneak and buy one of them like every so often, and then now it's kind of gotten to where I'm going there and I'll get two. It's like, oh, I gotta get back to my diet plan. The only way I lose weight is if I count calories. That's what works for me. I hold myself accountable, I can lose the weight. But when I do this just like, oh, well, a little bit won't hurt me. Oh, well, I can have this on Sunday. I can have this on, you know, that doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I just am so sick of sweets, actually. Tired of them. Okay, so we have that all good and dandy. This over here. And then what we need to do is move our recipe, and then we're going to crunch up our pistachios there. And I'm not going to put any on the top. I'm just going to put it in the mix because it does call for this recipe anyway. Calls for a few of them crunched on the top after you put your little glaze thing on. But I'm going to do like a glaze that we like, you know, and not the one that they did here. And I think that would be fine for me. You want them kind of crunched too, you know, because you don't want to bite into a big, huge nut. Super nice. And I don't know why my camera always makes that noise when I'm recording. It makes the noise like you're taking pictures. Why does it do that? Anybody know? I need so much help with that. Okay, I think I have it pretty good. Go ahead and put that in the mixture. Let me get my little bench scraper. Oh, and we need to preheat. So we're going to preheat. Oh, wrong one. 350. Delicious. I think these are going to be delicious. And so I hope there's just enough for 6 because I have my pan here ready. Enough for 6. So we're going to pour that batter in there. Let our let it get, you know, let the oven get up to par, which usually takes my phone. Oh, I can't get it. I have to go back online, and I put a new face on it, which is really cute. This pink face, it's so cute, but I don't like it because it doesn't, I like it, but it doesn't say the date or the, I had a face that used to say the temperature all the time. I was always telling you guys the temperature here. And it doesn't tell you temperature, and it doesn't tell you what time, not time, you can read the clock, but it doesn't tell you the temperature and like your steps or, you know, there's a few things it doesn't do, and I have to go back and get a new face. I thought this would be adorable, but, and it's stuck on my 1 mile I walked last night. It's still stuck on there all day long. to get it off. It doesn't do anything. Pause it. I don't know. All right, I'm going to find a little ice cream scoop. My cupcake scoops are back in the bakery. I didn't think when I went to get the pan, I didn't think to get one. I should have. Would have been good. You get just the right amount for each, which is nice when you have a big cupcake scoop. But I have a little ice cream scoop. We'll just go ahead with that. Put those in. I'm going to fill them pretty full because I want those kind of muffins that like really get full. I may have too much. I'm gonna fit it all in here somehow. Because I don't want to go and get another pan. I don't want to go and get another. No, it doesn't say how many it actually makes either. We're just going to fill them up. We're just going to have some nice, plump, extra large muffins. We're going to do it, girls. We're going to just plump it up. Yes, we are. Batter looks lovely. Silky soft. That into there. Let's see what else we have. There you go. Let's see which one is less. I think this one. Give that a little more. This one a little more. I like when they point in the middle. They kind of puff up in the middle. I think that looks real nice. Kind of get it shaped a little like that. Okay. Very good, very good. Okay. Sorry, I have to wipe my stuff up. Okay, we are going to wipe this off a little bit. Shake that dough down in there. If you take your mistake or your little drips off of your pan while it's wet, it's much easier to clean your pan. Okay, we're going to set it over here on the stove, and we're going to see what else we need to do. See what else is going on. Gotta get these crunchies cleaned up. Let me shake this into the garbage. That'd be good. We can wash it. And you could have put some, you know, all the big hype about the, what do I want to say? The big hype about the food color. You could put some green food color. It didn't call for it, but you could have put some green food color in there and to make it nice and green like the ones you buy at the store, but I didn't do it. I just left it just the way it is. Okay, I want to try to put something together now that's a little different, but I don't know. I'm trying to make like some little fondant. So let's see what it calls for. So some little fondant that you can make little tiny flowers. So like tomorrow I can make a video, or next week, where we make some little tiny fondant flowers, and then you freeze them. And then when I bake things, I have them on hand. So I do want to do that. I'm burning up, moving around with all these clothes on. Whew. All right, I'm gonna get the paper off of this thing. Ooh, goes splashing everywhere. Okay, so let's put the lid back on for a second. I don't know why this lid looks so like it has chocolate. I maybe used it and I put it back in my bakery and I didn't wipe it down. Sorry guys, it looks disgusting when you do things like that. Okay, but life is life, right? Alrighty, so it calls for 1 tablespoon of this stuff. We're gonna mix it in here, 1 tablespoon. Let's see how it works. And you have to let it sit. That's why I'm saying we can't do it like right now. All right, so we have 1 tablespoon of this stuff. And it is this Thai-Tex gum. Okay, so we need that, and then we need 4 cups of sifted powdered sugar. Ooh, let me see if I have some. I have maybe a little, maybe not. Let me see if I have any in my stash drawer, because if I have some that's sugar-free, I'll use that first, so we don't have to use so much. Brown sugar. Hey, hey, brown sugar. Powdered sugar. I don't want to use all of this, though. Why so much? I don't want that much. Ooh. I shouldn't have put a whole thing in there. I should have cut the recipe in half. So what if we do a cup? Let me take some of this out. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to do a cup. I just want a little bit, not like for a whole big cake. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, maybe that much. Hope this works. And then maybe we'll do 1, if we can get a cup of this. I don't know if we can get a cup. Even if we just do a little amount. That's pretty close to a cup of powdered sugar. So this will be sugar-free. So, well, not sugar-free. It will not be sugar-free, because we are going to add some sugar. So we have that and that. Okay, what else do we need? 1 heaping tablespoon of glucose, which is sugar. So I don't know if this will mix up right. Maybe that's why you have to let it set so this gets, and what does it say? 1 heaping tablespoon. Well, we're not going to need that much. We're going to use a half a tablespoon because we use so much less. So a half of that, because we don't need that much. And then 4 tablespoons of warm water. Let me get some warm water in here. Let's see if we can make this work. And if we can add a little coloring to it. I do have, I'll show you, I have all of my cake decorating tools that I just went and got in the bakery, because if we make the fondant, we're going to need to use some of those tools. And I'll show them to you. It's so much fun. Oh my gosh, it is so fun. All right, the water is warm. We'll just fill this up with water and then we'll dip out of it if we can. Almost too hot. All right, so it says we need 4, but we didn't do the whole recipe. 4 tablespoons of warm water, so we'll just do, I don't know, there's 1. And we should probably stir it. Oop, I almost poured the whole thing in. We'll do 2. I don't see us needing any more than 2, but what do I know, right? And it also says you can add a little oil to it for a little pliability. Perfect. And then I'm going to add a little, if I have a little pink color, some of my coloring is starting to get, I haven't done any cake decorating in such a long time. It's starting to get old, but I don't think it goes out of. Get the thing open. This is always the problem with this thing. Never get it open. My hands work worse and worse. There we go. Whew. Well, we're not going to use these red dyes. I'll leave them in there, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to be using all of them different. We just want a little pink. Like a little pink. Here's pink. We're going to use a little of this icing sugar coloring. See, it comes like in a gooey. And you just need a little. I don't want it to be pink pink. I just want a little tingy color to it. I think that would be plenty. So I was making cookies and selling them. I was making cakes for people. They'd call and make an order, and then I'd make it, and then all that good stuff, which was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun working at the bakery. Learned so much. It was such a good time. But the people were really, I don't know. Some of the people, the lady that I worked in the ovens with and stuff, she was a real sweetheart. She was a little bit older than me. She taught me a lot of stuff. But the actual owner and stuff, they were a little sticklers. I don't know. Oh, it's going to be too pink. No, not too pink. I don't want too pinky. Come on. Be cool. You can leave it marbleized like this. That would be amazing. Wouldn't it? So another time that would I make a video, I'm going to make what I used to make. And I used to make these really beautiful patterns with chocolate on parchment paper, and then I'd layer them in the freezer when my freezers were cleaned out, and you can actually have room for something like this. Got my hand all messed up. And you can just put them and pop them right on top of a cake. So they're always ready, you know. So when I was making cakes, I had these, you know, chocolate designs and chocolate flowers and chocolate different things. And when I would make stuff, I didn't want this color. I wanted like a real pale. But we're going to fly with it. What the heck? Fly with it. And just for the pliability, I am going to add just a little bit of oil. So it does have some elasticity to it. Don't let me get too much. Oh no. About 3 drops. That's all I need. Darn it. Okay. I think our oven should be good. Let's get this stirred up, and then we're gonna put a little plastic bag on it, or some film, and then let it sit overnight in the fridge, did it say? Plastic bag, and seal the bag securely. For 8 hours, let it rest, or overnight at room temperature. Okay, at room temperature. We won't be putting it in the fridge. And now I'm going to show you my tools. Okay, I think it's good. I'm going to find a plastic bag and put it in the plastic bag like it says. I don't want to take any chance of it getting dried out. This is going to help me. We're going to make just the teeny tiniest flowers, the cute little teeny tiny ones that we can put on top of cupcakes. We can add them to little cakes that we make. Because all summer long, you know, we're going to be on the run. We're going to be going places. We're going to be invited places. And now's the time to get organized. Like I was showing you the pressed flowers where you can hurry up and whip up some cards now. And then, well, I don't know if you could now, but, you know, you have to think ahead is what I'm trying to say. And like these, whip these up ahead of time. Maybe we'll even do some chocolate designs when I do this. Maybe do both. So we have our fondant. We have it in a bag. And see, then you can kind of even mix it that way too. So we're going to let this sit, and then we should be able to make some real cute little fondant flowers. Okay? So I'm going to let that sit over here. Well, actually, I'm going to put it way up here. Let me get rid of all this. Got that tightly closed. Put this away. Okay. I'll put this back in my bakery. And then get this stuff off my hands too. I showed you those colorings. We're going to pop in our muffins. I'm going to see if I can get some of this pink off my hands. It doesn't come off that well. Especially this professional stuff. It's professional baking coloring. Well, it is what it is. Okay, let's put our muffins in. When we're going to put them, I'm going to put them on the lower rack, but usually you want to put them if you have enough space. I didn't have enough head space in case they rise. If you want to, for them to rise, you should put them on the top rack if you want things to rise. And if you want things that just to cook, you put that on the bottom rack. So, just a little pointer tip there. I'm going to get rid of this board. To get this, look at that. Whew. The blue finally came off of my counter over there before my husband seen it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this off before he gets home from work. It'll be like having a hissy. All right, we can put this back. Over here, it goes back in the pantry, but for now, I'm gonna have to get some more baking soda out because I do start seeing some more little ants in that darn one window. I don't know what the heck. So. Okay, it's good enough. Let me show you. I don't want to get all wet. Okay. Here are these little, where you can do a little chandelier. Isn't that cute? And then this one, this would be for like, if you wanted to put powdered sugar on something, you could put this down like on a cupcake and then put powdered sugar, sift it over the top. And the same thing with the birds. Boy, you can't even see that on my counter. And the chandelier. And these are just some other little molds that you would make, like this size flower or petal, this size petal, this size petal. That's what those are. They're petals. We're not going to be making the big ones. So we're going to find some in here. We have the grapes. Look at the grapes. That cute. Super, super cute. Oh, I should be talking to this camera too. We have some crosses. Usually the cameras give up on me, so I don't know which one I'm going to be able to go with. This one is raspberries. See all those little dots in there? Cute. Butterflies. You could do some of those, the little one. I don't know why that's in there. These are cute. This one is a crown and little... How cute. This one got a little sugar on it somehow. This one is all Easter. All for Easter. The little bunny, the egg, all of that. Nautical. There you go. Nautical. Oh, and we're going to do some of these flowers. Look at those tiny ones. That's what I'm talking. Little tiny ones. This is a cameo. How sweet. And then this one, we have a bunch of little bugs. These would be cute too. Those would for sure be cute. So we have all of that. Let's see what else we have. I haven't looked at these in so long. And some I bought and then I never did get to use them. These are all my tools, what I really like to use. Like I use this one a lot for like lifting things up. You know, it has the little points, scraping little things off that make a little mess or make a teeny tiny little brush. This is so you can have the lattice work for like doing it on the sides of cakes and things. You can have the lattice. Little tiny little, what do you call it? Can't even think of it. Oh, look at this one, the dusting brush, like tweezer type things. And then you have these, have little different points on them. This one has little different marks. I use this a lot, that end of it. I use that end a lot. This one for rolling stuff. This one's kind of like a paintbrush type thing. This one you can use for the fondant, and like you can roll your petals, like you put a little piece down and you roll it with this little round thing and it makes the cute little like dip, like a petal, you know, like it cups it. Little tiny paintbrushes. Another little one, little scraper type with a little zigzag. More little paintbrushes. Another one like this. Another one like that. These I showed you. This one's nice with the square. Used that before. And then I have a little more. Oh, it looks like this paintbrush came apart. This is real nice. It's like a stylus or whatever, but it's great for cake. And then you have another one a little bit bigger. And then another little where you can cut the fondant with the little cutter. More paint brushes. And then this one. So, so cute. And then I have a metal tweezers that I must have used one time or another, and then they just stayed in here. This is like from a nutcracker type thing, but it must have worked. I'm going to get rid of this little junk here. And then put all of those back in. So that's all of my tools. I love my tools. And when you have the right tools, you can do such a nice job. When you don't have the right tools, it's very hard to decorate cakes and cookies and make it look professional. You have to have the right tools. How come that worked for me before, but it's not working now? Needs to get settled down. There we go. Okay, so then let's see what else we have. These are little keys. This is real cute. The little heart with the little birds in there. That one's cute. Oh, we'll do some of these. Look at the little bows. Super cute. Another little flower. Probably a pretty big one. And then this is just like, I have never used this. I got this brand new. And I never used this, where you can do the fondant all with this like lattice, not lattice, but like scalloped design. So you can do the whole thing, you know, and then you can like wrap it around the cake like that. So you do 2 or 3 of these and then wrap it around the cake. But I never had a chance to do it. Try to get it back in here so it stays nice. I don't know why it wasn't put back. Because it's hard. Because it's hard. Come on. Maybe I won't get it back in here. Because it sticks. Rubbery. I'm determined now. I'm determined. It gets a little weight on it and then it won't sink. I'm determined now. Come on. There. We got it. All right. And roll this up. Put it back. And I'm going to keep this little booklet. This came with some fondant that got too old and I threw it away. It was hard as a rock. But it talks in here about coloring fondant, using icing color, using pre-colored fondants, fondant flavoring. So you'll want to flavor your fondant if you want to. Let's see. And then it goes on to different Spanish. But it shows you different techniques there for the fondant. Kneading it, covering your cake, smoothing and trimming, and then rolling it out. So here it has kneading it lightly, dusting it, dust smooth work surface, or roll and cut matte rolling pin. I have a plastic rolling pin that I use for this, but it may be back in the bakery still. I don't know. I don't think I have it with my other rolling pins up here. No, I don't think I do. But we could use this one. We could use this little wooden one. It's a tiny one. We could use that for the fondant. But the wooden one really, I mean the plastic one, I'll have to see if I can find it. The plastic one works well because then it doesn't dry it out. So you want to roll it using 30-inch fondant roller, roll fondant. This is for a cake. 1/8-inch thickness for a cake, and then cover the cake, and then smooth it, and then all that. Storing your fondant. Fondant will dry out really, really fast, so you have to make sure that you know, when you are going to use it, that you use it like, or make it like right before or whatever, right before you're going to decorate the cake, and not let it sit. This is sitting because it has to incorporate that sugar and stuff and blend really nice for tomorrow or the next day. Storing fondant. Store your decorated fondant cake up to 3 to 4 days at room temperature. Always store away from heat and sunlight. And then filled cakes may require refrigeration. When refrigeration, leave cake uncovered, keeping away from strong odors. Freezing fondant covered cakes is not recommended. So freezing the whole cakes with fondant on it is not recommended. But I did a bunch of fondant flowers and froze them, and they come out just fine. So the fondant is fine for a little, you know, for a short time, for like this summer. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say like you could keep it in there until, you know, Christmas time or next year. But if you're going to use it in the next couple months, I think once you make the flowers, I think it would be just fine. And I don't think you'd have any problem with it. So we have our muffins in the oven. I showed you all of these tools and that stuff. And I think that's about it. I think I'm going to call it quits there. It's a little bit windy here today, so I'm not going to take the camera outside, but I have to change, and I have to get to where I can get my peas in the ground. I found a location, so I was out there this morning. I found a location on the fence line. I might have to cut back some mint, but I think I can do it. It still has really nice black, rich soil. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I look forward to having some new subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I'm so amazed and so grateful that you are liking some of the content and that you are subscribing. That makes me feel really good inside. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And this is my little decorative page of the pistachio muffins. You know, I love to color and decorate the little recipe page. Now I'll probably go through this book after I'm done because there's a lot of recipes in here, and then I'll transfer them to a little card. I'm still old-fashioned like that. I like to have them on hand and do that. And so here's some that I did for some other little Danish, or the little custard, forget what you call those little things, but and then I did one here. Here's another little decorative page. I just love doing that. I didn't bring down my Bible today, and I don't think I have the word. Let me see if I can find a little scripture on my, oh, and I did the ice creams. Look at that. I love doing that. I carry that Bible up and down and up and down and up and down because I usually, like late at night, I'll like research and start looking at some of the recipes that I really might want to make. And then I'll bring it down because I'm like, well, am I going to do a video today? Am I going to make something today? You know, what am I going to do? Let me see if I can find a little scripture. I'd love to do one while the film is still rolling. I'm so excited, too, that I got my, let's see what's down here. It's all in my pantry. Let me see. What do I have? Grace for a Moment, a diary of private prayer. Let me see what this one is. Let's find something in here. I opened it up to Good Habits. It's Hebrews 6:1. And it says, so let us go on to growing up teaching. Let us not go back over the beginning lesson we learned about Christ. Hebrews 6:1. I like the story of the little boy who fell out of bed. When his mom asked him what happened, he answered, I don't know. I guess I stayed too close to where I got in. Easy to do. The same with our faith. It's tempting just to stay where we got in and never move. How true is that? Pick a time in the not so distant past a year or two ago. Now ask yourself a few questions. How does your prayer life today compare with then? How does your prayer life today compare with then? Oh, I'm reading the same line. How about your giving? Have both the amount of the joy increased? What about your church loyalty? Can you tell you've grown? And Bible study, are you learning to learn? Don't make the mistake of the little boy. Don't stay too close to where you got in. It's risky resting on the edge when God whispers your name. Grace for the moment. Inspirational thoughts for each day of the year. Maxo Ludlow. So there's that little prayer book. I kind of like it. It has some nice things in there. Maybe we'll start reading a little bit of that. But you can go to Hebrews and check out that scripture and read it. But that is so true, you know. I'm kind of in a lull myself, you know. I do my Bible journaling, and I like to read the Bible, and I love to write my gratitude every morning and stuff like that. But trying to choose a church that we're going to go to, if we're going to go back to church. I usually Sundays, I listen to Mass online. I'm still in a lull because my deal is we didn't get married in the Catholic Church. So I'm kind of like, are we going to go back and get remarried in the Catholic Church? Or are we not? And then I don't like going to the Catholic Church and you can't sit there, you can't take communion. It's not their rule, you know. But I've talked to many other Catholics that say, I go there and when Christ is present, that they're going to have communion, I go up and I take it anyway. And I remember my mom always telling me, when Christ is being presented, always go and receive him. No matter what, she said. No matter what, go and receive him. Now, you go to some of these other Methodist churches and some of these other churches, you can go right up there and you can receive Christ, which I want to do. And so I'm kind of in between. Don't need to tell you all my personal stuff, but I'm just fair and honest, try to be just normal here, you know, and that's what the deal is, you know. So I can be married in the Catholic Church. I did get a letter in saying that you can be married in the Catholic Church if you'd like. So, but I don't know if I want to go through that or not. So, because now that I've gotten a little bit older, I think that you should be able to receive Christ anyway, you know, not just if, you know, you got married in the church or you didn't get married in the church. You should be able to always receive Christ. Everyone should be able to receive Christ. And there shouldn't be all these different stipulations and rules and things like that. So I'm kind of torn. To tell you the truth, I'm a little bit torn. I love the Catholic faith. I love all of that. But, you know, I don't know. So there is a really nice church. It's not Catholic, but there's a really nice church here in town that's not too far away. And I went there when I was divorced, and they treated me really well. They are super, super nice. I mean, they come up and they greet each and every person that walks in that door. They are very friendly, and they invited us to like a little donut breakfast type thing they had. And we didn't know anybody, and I just went in there anyway, and people were, hi, how are you? You know, just talking and just ordinary, nice, down-to-earth people. I love that. You know, I love that. So, I don't know. It's all up in the air, but I just do what I can do at home until we make a decision on what's going to be happening. And then we just visit different Catholic churches from time to time, but then we sit there in the pews and everybody goes up and gets communion except for us. Not just only us, but you know what I'm saying. And it makes you feel like you're the bad person. You're going to hell, you know, you're just really bad, you know. So I don't know. It's something to be worked out in the wash, and we'll see what happens. So I want to thank all of you for watching today, and for the little message that I gave, and hopefully you will find your faith and you will see where you stand and how you want to move your faith forward, and you know, and not just sit there on the edge, right? So like what we read. So anyway, so I'm going to go for now, and I look forward to doing another really fun video for you guys. And we are going to do some little fondant flowers, and we're going to do some other fun things too. So I'll talk to you all later. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.